Peace and blessings is real. First and foremost, I want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, for allowing this word to come out. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters is edified by this word. And the name of the lesson is called The Murder of George Floyd, another unarmed black man killed by cops. Just the title alone already let you know what we're going to be dealing with in this word. I'm not going to really go, I'm really not going to go too deep on this one because this is nothing new. We've seen this movie before, and it's becoming the new way of doing things pertaining to law enforcement and black men. Now, we know some of these so-called black men that are doing things warrants police to come and diffuse the situation. So I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like all black men that come in contact with the police are innocent. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the murder of George Floyd is another example of an unarmed black man being killed by cops. This is a very sobering story. And to be honest with you, I've really never seen nothing quite this disturbing pertaining to this particular type of incident. I'm almost lost for words to even be speaking on this, because it was no shame in this Minneapolis police officer. It was no shame, wasn't no worries. He literally kept his knee on the neck of a motionless man, cutting off his air circulation. This man was unarmed. This man did not pose a threat at the point that you had him on the ground with your knee on his neck. Come on, man. This man practically begged for his life. And this officer had a very extreme, inhumane spirit in him, man. It almost looked like it was blatant. It was almost like somebody told him to do that. Come on, man. It's getting to the point now where we might as well not even have no police force. That's where we're at, man. What you see on the screen is an example of those protesting against the Minneapolis Police Department for what they just did, man. Firing this individual, that does absolutely nothing. That does nothing. This man can go to another city, another county, and get another job. But the members of George Floyd family, George can't come back. He's done. He's gone, man. This man practically begged for his mother, dude. He was treated like a wounded animal that was just waiting to die. This is unacceptable, but at the same time, it's becoming the new normality, man. In Isaiah 59:7, it says, their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood, all right, with the thoughts of iniquity and destruction in their paths. That's exactly what you got. That's the position today that these officers are taking when it comes to engaging with the black man. Isaiah 59:7, it says, their feet run to evil. And that officer ran to evil. Obviously, there was a situation where the police was called on George Floyd for whatever reason. But once they encountered him, that officer ran to do evil. He make haste to shed innocent blood. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, you might not want to watch it because it's so disturbing. It's almost like you couldn't make this up, man. It's almost like a dream, a wild, bad dream. And you wake up and realize it was a dream. But in this case, this really happened. This really happened, man. I mean, the agenda of Elvis, a.k.a. Ronald and friends, there's a clear agenda to assassinate Jake at all costs, man. Cold-blooded, man. What's the name of the word? The murder of George Floyd, another unarmed black man killed by cops, man. Now, as we get ready to close out this word, let me just say this to you Israelites out there, that's you brothers and sisters that's, following this word tonight, following the things that's been happening in our community and so forth. In Deuteronomy 28, it talks about the gift and the curses. And if we were obedient to the Lord, we would receive abundant of gifts. But then on the flip side, if we were disobedient, then we welcome to the curses. And from Deuteronomy 28:15 all the way to the end of the chapter of Deuteronomy 28, the Lord laid down all the curses we will be subject to. And believe it or not, what happened to George Floyd, that's part of the curses, man. The enemy is going to put his foot on our neck, man. Spiritually and literally. And we just witnessed this not even 24 hours ago. You see? I mean, we were disobedient, okay? So things like this, the tragedy that happened, the tragedy that happened with George Floyd is just an extension of the curses that we subject to. I mean, the Lord spoke about allowing others from other nations, allowing enemies, man, to dominate us, treat us rough, man. And these police officers is treating us rough. So on one end, we have to understand we in captivity, man. We under the curses right now. And if we are under the curses right now, what just happened with George Floyd is part of our curses, man. So this shouldn't only be sobering, but it should be humbling to a lot of you. I mean, cold-blooded, man. I mean, you sincere brothers and sisters out there, man, if you get a chance, man, read some of the curses in Deuteronomy 28, starting with verse 15, man. And after you finish reading all those curses, look at what just happened with George Floyd, man. It lines right up with it, man. We in trouble, Israel. I mean, these officers, man, they have no intent to arrest us. They have no intent to write a ticket. They want finances. That's what they're going to attack. So listen, man, I hope you sincere brothers and sisters was edified by this word. And again, man, I spoke about finances, and let me elaborate on that as we get ready to close out. If you really want to get Elvis' attention, Ronald and friends' attention, hit them in their pockets, man. The George Floyd family should sue this Minneapolis Police Department for every dime they got. And that'll send a message to those that they hiring that they might want to take the load off by trying to kill Jake every time they encounter a situation where they have to be aggressive. This man was unarmed, laid on the ground, motionless. Didn't pose not a threat at that point, and you still ran your knee into this man's neck, cut off his circulation, and he died shortly after that. Unreal. There's no way that you was trained in your training. You cannot tell me that tactic that you used to kill George Floyd was part of your training, man. That was some solo, individualistic, satanic, wicked, evil eye, grudgeful, resentful spirit, lynching type attitude that this guy took, man. Let me go on and close this word, man, before I really take it somewhere that don't need to be taken to. I hope you sincere brothers and sisters was edified by this word, and we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out, man. Shalom.